So the thing about Point MMA that's special to us is in the martial arts competition world, we've never really had a home because we're really, the system, Dr. Moses Powell was the first African-American trainer of FBI and DEA. So the system is really designed for post-quota, really volatile situations and to close out the deal and eliminate the fight. So what happens is you have now a generation where martial arts is growing and becoming more and more popular, and people are connecting with it on different levels. So, you know, Point MMA is a vehicle that drives people to use whatever source that they're connecting from to the martial arts and share it in a way where nobody has to lay down. Right. So with that, it's special to us because we choose what we want to incorporate and what we don't want to incorporate in our practicing of tournament training. So, in other words, we have to draw out the part where you snap the person's arm. We have to draw out the part where you break the person's wrist, right? I remember this beautiful technique that somebody taught at a seminar, and it was amazing technique. It was a seminar in Vermont full of black belts, and Dr. Moses Powell was there before he passed away. He was there and he said, that's a beautiful technique, but break his nose first. So that's the psychology, is that you create the space, you create the timing, you create the distance by way of touch, right? And then once you have that touch, you don't let go of that touch until your job is finished. Because you've been in the dojo all these years to earn that touch. Okay. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit just so I didn't get up here and be like, okay, let's just kill each other. Like, it's not really about that. It's about propagating the system and, you know, expanding the families and bringing the families together, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to show you a little bit of the world that we're coming from, and then we're going to go straight into things that can be applicable regardless of what your mother ordered. Okay, so there's a couple of concepts that I want to drive home today. Tracing the body, blending the positioning, creating leverage, taking a balance, and creating a fixed point and a leverage point based on whatever you grab. It's a fancy way to say it, but basically I want to turn his body into a seesaw of some degree, no matter which way I'm touching him. You have, if I touch you, I got you. And then you have, don't get hit. And then you have, get off first. And those are all rule number one. Hey, it's weird, just follow it. So, assuming that I'm in a threatening situation and my hands are up, I'm actually in the best possible scenario to thwart an attack. Because I'm unassuming, I'm gentle, I'm a bunny rabbit. Okay. So as soon as he touches me, the idea is to break the hand. Because he gave me the hand, it's a Christmas gift. So break the hand, then I'll break the jaw. Okay? So as you can see, I'm winding my way into the situation where I can break his arm, come across, break his wrist, control, pin. Then I do whatever I have to do. I call the police, or I reach for things if I don't like them that much. I turn around and pin, and then scream fire so that people will pay attention. So he grabs with two hands. The concept is the same. It's two weapons less that he has. So if I'm just counting no elbows and knees and all that, if I'm just counting arms, legs, and head, then I have 5, and when he grabs me, he has 3. Follow the math? Yes. Okay, so he touches with 2 hands. So first thing I'm going to do is come in for what's inside my flow. What's inside my flow is whatever distance I have based on what he created. If he pushes me hard here, my flow is this way. If he pushes me hard here, my flow is this way. Right? If he throws a mean right, and I'm outside, then my flow is this way. So the idea is do the drills and the techniques, but make it dynamic based on where your flow is. And that's an individual journey. Okay? So again, let's say he comes with the double touch. Right, I'm here, I'm on the ear, so it's equilibrium. Then it's eye, that's vision. Right? Next thing to take is balance, because it's always vision, breathing, balance. So vision, breathing, balance, I break the balance. Then I press in and create a leverage. As you can see, that's my seesaw. I have shoulder to elbow. And predictive movement, I can assume that he's going this way, because that's the way the body goes when you take it this way. So I'm there to inherit the flow and drop my legs on the sweep. Now I have the neck already. You see, it's not, I didn't plan it, I wrote some stuff down, but I'm probably just going to ignore it. Because once I'm inside the flow, everything changes. My hand's on his neck so he can comply or not comply. If he doesn't comply, we go home. If he complies, we turn over. And then we'll pin at the jawline. And if my car's parked in the back, I'll use this pin with the tongue pallet underneath the door line and take them outside and then leave them there for somebody else to deal with. So same thing with the punch. She's creating the distance, right? So break the hand, break the arm, come on the knee side. If I gotta take him in his car, I'll just take him in his car. Now you see I'm controlling the small joint manipulation. So that's the idea. So when it becomes a competition, we're like, man, how can we do this? What do we do? There's no home for us. Yes, there is. It's point MMA. You just gotta find it and draw out the things that ain't gonna make people not be able to compete next time. Which is actually the most difficult part. It's pulling the punch, right? How many times you see people get excited, lose control of their nerve? You gotta stay calm in the pocket. If we're moving slow, boom, and I touch, he moves. This is a dance now. When he moves, I move. Right? And then I'm just searching for that movement until I find something that makes sense for me to follow through with. So he's driving. He's driving. When we touch, he's driving. All right, so let's get into some techniques. So first technique we're going to work is kind of similar to what we just did. Does that make sense? That was all off the top, but I hope I kind of set a little bit of a foundation, right? Okay, so let's work off a wrist grab first, just to set the stage for the movement, and then we'll elevate from there. So this technique, body drop, it appears to be a small joint manipulation. It appears to be a disappearing act. It appears to be a close. Okay? Grab. I'm gonna have everybody do this first, because as fancy as this looks, right, you may think, oh, that's a dead or alive technique. That's never gonna work. See, in our world, we always create a distraction first. We have a rule that says one hand lies, one hand tells the truth. If I put tension in this, people's tension in his own. If I come out to shake his hand, you ever had a handshake you wish you could redo? Like the dude comes in real gentle, and then he gets you, right, and you get right? It's too late, right? So I want to create that comfort. So when he grabs my wrist, yes, he has my wrist, but what is screaming, what is that going to do for me? All he has is my wrist. Think about it. This is the tip of the spear. You got the whole spear right here. The whole spear. Grab my wrist as strong as you want. This is not stopping the movement of anything. Okay? All right. So, strong here. Just grab the forearm. And we're just going to go underneath. And then I'm going to put this cup right on top of his bicep. Now, there's different versions of this throw. There's lots of different versions. This one, you break the arm as you push over. I'm not going to do it to him, but this is my seesaw. Wrist down, elbow up. Bam! So I could care less if he goes flying. Because if he stands here, then I don't know. Change subject. So from here, hold the bicep, lower it to the ground. He may not roll like that, but it doesn't matter. Because I have a fixed point in the leverage point. Fixed point in the wrist. Switch hands, grab, underneath. Leverage point is the bicep. So I'm just going to set it right down next to my toe. And we're going to go from there.
Teach one!
Okay, so something strange happens in jiu-jitsu, right? The game is always changing, right? So when he grabbed my wrist here, right? Was it same side wrist grab or a cross wrist grab? So the first thing I did was grab the pulse. Yeah. And I'll do the same thing. It's not so violent. Another back. Each one! Alright, let's get two more brave souls. Good job, man. There's competition training, and as Master Kimber alluded to earlier, there's life training, okay? And we know that, like, in class, we can do face fall, up, side fall, back fall. These are best effort mechanisms to preserve the essential parts that we need to be able to keep functioning in life. Back fall. Okay, so his tailbone's off the floor, and the top of his spine and the base of his spine is off the floor. So what he's doing is he's eating that concrete on the back of his forearms and his elbows and the balls of his feet, because that's his best effort option at trying to survive a fall on the concrete. Same thing, face fall. He's never going to be able to be a forearm model for a lotion company for the rest of his life. After he takes that fall on the concrete. But you got to understand, his face not hitting the floor is more important. So, with life training and competition training, it's awesome, it's fun, you be explosive, you be dynamic and all that. But, like, let's just go over 3 or 4 judo throws, right? Safety. You can't eat that. You can't eat that on the concrete, right? This is how you go, shake. He can't eat that. Turn him over, boom. Now take his face and turn it into the concrete like that. Man can't take that. That's no more girlfriends for the rest of his life. So just to understand what we're dealing with. Okay, so now back to play. So he comes back and he comes for the shoot. So what's gonna happen is, if my balance is in this direction and he's coming in this direction, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna fall. Alright? So I always want to yield one side. So he's coming, now establish your base. Establish it. So again, now pick me up. Again, he's strong. He's strong. He's like a $110. He's a beast in the gym, right? So, go back. So you ramen up, right? So I'm down, and even if again, he comes, spine, head, neck, head. That's a done deal. Okay, so now let's play. You go, hey, boom, base, cut underneath. Press the shoulder, hug yourself. Hug yourself. 2 knees down, take them out.
No girlfriend for life.
Life. I said that. So what I'm trying to say is, you're always creating the opportunity by touch. When he comes in here, yeah, I'm cutting underneath his arm, but I'm gonna touch him first. And this is my friend, so right? In the tournament, right? I'm gonna touch his ribs just to loosen him up. He can take that. Touch. Arm underneath. Hi, mom. Press the shoulder. Take a step. Don't wait for him to move. Believe in your own movement. That's all you can trust. Push. Take a step. 2 knees go to the ground. Still controlling. Isolating. I'm gonna turn this and bring my knee over top. Okay?
You're gonna push
The other one?
this down.
Okay, 15. 16. 7.
Drop on the side.
8. Each one.
Each one.
Oh, so let's have fun. Dr. Powell had a saying called nobody ever lost. So there's lots of different ways you can roll, right? So super slow. Let's go back a little more. Let's use it. So super slow, 3 steps forward. This is just one example of how to use the roll-up. You get behind this technique, you can roll, scoop the calf, continue to roll, lock the leg, break the leg, and eliminate the threat. Okay? This is just one way to use the roller, right? There's lots of different ways to use the roller. If he just, I've had situations where the student, we do like multiple attack scenarios where students just go at you and it's good luck Chuck, and let's see who's standing at the end of class. And rollouts are very effective. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a situation here where you get past the tip of the spear. The rest of the class will follow the fist and tip of the spear. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita has a theory called root, middle, tip, right? So everything is root, middle, tip. This is tip, this is middle, this is root. If he kicks, this is tip, this is middle, this is root. For his body, right? This is tip, this is middle, this is root. Okay? So we're going to get past this tip, boom, here. We're going to come inside. So as I come inside, first thing to do is take his balance, right? So I'm going to take his balance. Now, there's another theory where we don't fight the resistance, right? So from here, there's no reason for me to go backwards. Does that make sense? So again, and this is all very dynamic, like if we just start fighting, right, it's not that I'm looking for a technique to do, it's that I'm feeling for what techniques are available to me. Okay, so as he comes, boom, I'll get past the tip, I'll come in, and I'll step, okay? Tip, come in, step. So all I'm gonna use is my rollout here. Up. You see I'm still controlling the tip. Can you see it? Get up. Up. Doesn't really matter. Come to the outside. Now, as I scoop, this time I'm gonna scoop this arm behind him. Come with this. I'm gonna scoop this arm behind him and ride up to the shoulder. So phase one looks like this: block, step, block, step. Now I'm gonna show. All I'm gonna do is use a rollout. Hands. Side. You want food? Take food. Easiest food you ever got. If you want to go home, slide this hand under behind his neck, bring the wrist to you, drive into the throat with the shoulder, and pull the wrist back. It's a short story. What we want is 3 seconds or less. We want every fight 3 seconds or less. So down, over, height, in, control, side, pull. Don't do the ending, okay? So I'm doing everything from this big standing and looping hook motion because you have to know that it doesn't matter, right? It's about finding out. So he punches here, down. I'm going to shoot with my shoulder into his midline, and I'm going to shoot with my inner forearm across the side. And nobody will know that happened, okay? Then I'm just stand. He's a shoot. Yield. Sky, iron shirt, pour the water on your head. The concepts, there's a whole lot of them, but some of the real simple ones to remember is that I'm not chasing after a body part. Once I establish contact, I'm tracing to the next body part, and I'm following his energy. So it really is a dance, right? So it's a mutual, right? It's consensual merge, right? I mean, it's what it is. So as soon as he touches me, in any way, it really doesn't matter. You're going to have something, but your training is to be receptive to what you have. So when you feel it, you can seize the moment. Okay? So there's like 60 or something different throws we could go over and all that stuff. But I'm not really trying to leave you with that. What I'm trying to leave you with is, we have a saying called "be a T-shirt on a windy day." That's so. Once you get close like that, that's when the nerves kick in, and we don't want the nerves to take over, right? And then we go from here to get off me so we can reset and do it again. That's silly, right? There's different components to different space differentials. So when he comes in, he punches, he can stay out here all day. And we can kick him, move his hand, you swing the back of his leg if that's legal and wrong. Come here, you can hold it, get your rib kick, get your tap on back of it. You can do whatever you do, but when you get here, you don't want to be lost, okay? You want to feel, create leverage. You want to trace to the body to find opportunity, okay? Create leverage, find opportunity, and then you want to take balance. So you're always aware of where his third leg needs to be in order for him to keep standing. You want to be aware of where his third leg needs to be in order for him to keep standing. If I pull him this way, where does his third leg need to be? If I push him this way, where does his third leg need to be? Right? So I'm always going to where his third leg needs to be. Okay? So I'm not, I'll let gravity do this. Make sure that the training is great, but at a certain point in your life, you got to decide what you're training for. So just know that, whether you decide to spend your whole life watching YouTube and making comments on karate videos, or going to the gym and actually doing it yourself, either way, we live in a threatening world. Everything has a time and a place. I think that's my time. Courtesy of.